Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, we're going to be talking about Pluto in the third house in the natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the Pluto placements in the houses. They were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. First thing up, well, Pluto in the third house can be comparable to Pluto in Gemini, but naturally you've got to blend in the zodiac sign with it. Pluto in Gemini in the third house can be different than Pluto, say, in Sagittarius in the third house, as an example. Now, Pluto is connected with our passion and desire, so there may be a lot of very strong passion and desire for communicating, assimilating, and disseminating information, articulating things, being eloquent, diversifying, expressing versatility, manual dexterity, such as working on vehicles or refrigerators, as some examples. Even mimicry, there may be certain passion and desire in doing that, and also some cases just guard against having that, being passionate about possibly living vicariously through others. Because keep in mind, the third house does correspond with the zodiac sign Gemini, and Gemini can be known, energy can be known for that. But at the same time, it could be a lot of passion, desire for third house Gemini related field, such as writing, journalism, data, or satellite communications, as some examples. Pluto is also associated with our intimate connections. So you may desire, displacement, desire intimate connections to be cerebral, intellectual, verbose, being articulate. You may desire, variety in activities with these people, or these people may desire that. Also, intimate connections may be somebody that you often see through your short journeys, or may be involved, in matters with your short trips. It may be somebody that one or more of these people may have been met during your early education, but may also be, mercurial, loquacious, inquisitive. They may be a little bit superficial as well, but can be versatile and very diversified at the same time. And now, Pluto in astrology is also connected with power and control. So you may desire more power and control, in your communications more so than most people, in your matters associated with siblings, cousins, and neighbors, and and also being able, as far as your short journeys go. Um, you may be somebody that desires, to take, okay, I'm going to take this short journey when I want to do it, and really having, that control over it. There may be more of a desire than to have your own vehicle, more so than most people on average, so you have that control over your short trips and short journeys. But you also, the thing about this placement too is you may also be secretive regarding, the short trips that you take. And the thing is, having, this placement, Pluto is also, connected with transformation and major change. So you're talking about, transformation. It could be at some point in your communications. It could be simply with the people that you communicate with. There may be, a manner or style in which you might change, the communication, at some point, with whether it can just be the manner in which it's done, such as emphasizing, say, internet communications more, or just, emphasizing, more old school communications more. And it could be, there may be some need to, transform, people in your neighborhood, or it could be your neighbors, your siblings, cousins, people that were prominent during your early education. And it could be, the transformation may take place in terms of your mobility in short journeys. Whether you're somebody that may have walked or ride the bicycle, to local places, and then at some point in time said, okay, I'm tired of this. This is getting monotonous. I'm going to get a vehicle, or vice versa. This is where there may be some kind of transforming going on, or it could be where you may be somebody that has an affinity for transforming vehicles, as well, such as rebuilding cars or trucks. Now, another thing about this as well, Pluto is also connected with rebirth and regeneration. So there may have been, some, revival that you experienced, during your early education. It could be, matters with your communications. You might go through more rebirths than the average person, whether it's in the manner in which you communicate, or the communications with certain people. You may be revived at some point. It could be something that goes away at one point, but then is resurrected basically again at another point in time. It could even be doing things, with manual dexterity, again, such as working on vehicles or refrigerators. It could be also, rebirth of a connection at some point with siblings, cousins, or neighbors. Just because, something could be obliterated at one moment doesn't mean it can't be revived at a later point in time. Now, Pluto is also, connected with, death and endings, whether it's, literal death or figurative death. Um, it could be where you might deal with more deaths, concerning neighbors more so than the average person. It could be where you have more endings, with your communications in general more so than most people. Um, it could also be, when you look at the third house is also, it reflects hidden adversaries of the less dominant parent, which is often the mother, because it's 12 houses from the fourth house. So it could be where you might have some ability to weed those people out, and end, as far as that person being the hidden enemy, being able to expose these people more so than most people on average. Could be people that are impersonating themselves as friends to again, the less dominant parent, which is often the mother, and you might have some uncanny ability to expose that, and thus end that ability to be that hidden enemy to that person. Now, another thing about Pluto in astrology, it's associated with support, whether it's moral, emotional, or monetary support. So you may be someone that's inclined to get, that support, could be loans, or, what have you, for short trips, the encouragement, the moral support. It could be, when it's also, the third house is also connected with long distance journeys of the significant other, because it's 9 houses from the seventh house. So it could be where you're supportive of those things. If you have a significant other, marriage partner, that is inclined toward taking long distance journeys, and also being supportive of siblings, of cousins, and neighbors. Again, whether it's moral, emotional, or monetary support, you may have been somebody that received a lot of support and encouragement from others during your early education, was willing to do that for fellow classmates as well. Pluto in astrology is also connected with surgery and trauma. So keep in mind, the third house does correspond with the zodiac sign Gemini. So there may be, certain surgery or trauma the one may have to endure, connected with the hands, the arms, the lungs, the nerves, and it might have a tendency to impact irrational thinking more so than most people. Um, and also, there may have been some surgery or trauma one experienced during their early education, or it could be where it might impact mobility, short journeys for this person more so than most. But again, with displacement, there could be a tendency toward obsessive and fixated thinking. It could also be where you might enjoy communicating about Pluto-related subjects, whether it's insurance or matters connected with forensics or investigation, mysteries, the occult, which includes astrology, recycling, locksmithing, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.